As advertised, here's part 2 of our measles series, and today we're going to be talking about measles complications. I decided to wear a red polka dot leopard print sweater to commemorate the measles rash. Too soon? Probably, but I also like leopard print and red. So let's delve into this because it's a serious topic. About 1 in 30 cases of people who have measles will develop some sort of a complication. The most common complication is diarrhea, which no big deal usually. It resolves, people get better. You can have otitis media or an ear infection. That can be viral or bacterial. Pneumonia and sepsis or bacteria in the bloodstream. It can cause immune suppression, which can last 3 years. It can suppress your immune system and can be fatal 3 years later. In resource-limited settings, the fatality rate of measles can actually be between 4 and 10%, which is shockingly high for something that we had eradicated 25 years ago. Other secondary infections or complications: gingivostomatitis or gum and mouth infection or inflammation, gastroenteritis, appendicitis, pneumonitis, and pneumonia with measles can be either viral or bacterial, and is actually the leading cause of death in children with measles. And then we have the neurologic complications, which are encephalitis or SSPE, which we'll talk about at the end, which is fatal. And so we're talking about people who a long time later can develop these symptoms. It can be headache, lethargy, they can develop ataxia of the gait or an unsteady gait. And this can be anything from headache, stiff neck, convulsions, all the way to a coma. And 15 to 20% of these cases can be fatal. Then we get into the next phase. In acute disseminated encephalomyelitis, you can have any of the aforementioned symptoms, plus it can develop into loss of sensations. People can become paraplegic or quadriplegic, lose bowel and bladder control, and it affects your entire neurological system. Supportive care is all we can really manage, and sometimes this happens very soon after measles, but it can happen quite a while later. It's thought to be a post-infectious autoimmune process that generally starts during the recovery phase. It has a fatality rate of about 10 to 20%. Then we move into subacute sclerosing panencephalitis, also known as SSPE. SSPE is a progressive and fatal disease of the central nervous system. So take all of the above symptoms potentially, and then add in behavioral changes, problems making decisions or thinking. This happens 7 to 10 years after the measles infection, so you don't have any idea that this may be coming. And it has 4 different stages that are progressive over time, leading up to death. We don't have medication for this, so this is why prevention is so ultimately important, because the majority of people who get measles will go on and be fine. But for those that get this, to know that it could have been prevented, as a parent, I just wouldn't be able to live with myself. So please, talk to your loved ones, talk to your friends, and try to help protect the herd.